up, Fallible Nation? Welcome to Manly Monday Live. Oh man, it's another Monday night. I cannot believe just how quick the weeks go by sometimes, guys. It just blows my mind. I'm always just like, I feel like I'm in this crazy cycle where it just keeps happening and keeps happening. And no matter how fast I'm going, it's like, oh, it's Monday again. So excited, guys. Tonight we're talking about the man in the mirror. No, not the Michael Jackson song. I know, great song, but that's not what we're talking about tonight. Tonight, the man in the mirror can be one of our biggest fans or one of our greatest critics. And how often do you actually have a conversation with the man in the mirror? How often do you have a conversation with yourself? A legitimate conversation where you are just real. Now, guys, wherever you're joining us from, be sure and shout out in the comments. Let us know you're here, where you're coming from. You know, the show is so much better when I have you guys jumping in and joining in the conversation. I always get excited about that. So let us know who you are and that you're here and be a part of the conversation, because that always makes the show better. Now, if you're joining us from Facebook and your little icon does not show, like Sarah's little icon here shows, right? If your little icon is not showing, you can go to streamyards.com/Facebook and give it permission to see who you are. It doesn't do anything to your account, I promise. It just lets us know who's here. Or you can just be an initial. That's cool. It's entirely up to what you are comfortable with. But I promise you, I would never tell you to do anything that would mess with your computer, because I just don't do that. I'm a computer guy. It's not in my wheelhouse. Now, guys, tonight, be sure and click on the little link down in the description. Wherever you're watching it, guys, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, there's a link in the description. And if you want to join us live on air for the Q&A portion of the show, then you are welcome to do that. That lets you submit a form with your question, and that way it gives me your email address so I can invite you. That way the whole world doesn't see your email address. If you don't want to join us on air, that's fine. Hang out during the Q&A portion of the show and just put a QQ in front of your question, and that helps us to see that you have a question. I'm running the show by myself tonight. Lord help us all. Sarah is not here running the background, so I do not promise a totally smooth show. Jared, it's good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining us tonight. I see Sarah's joining us from way away. I feel kind of naked now, actually, without my wife doing this in the background. But guys, let's just get into the man in the mirror tonight and see where the show takes us. Now, guys, when I get up in the morning, one of the first things I do is I look at myself in the mirror. And I mean, I look hard and honest, and let's face it, it's not a pretty sight. Okay. I look for the imperfections. I look for the flaws. I look for who I am that day. When I look in the mirror, I have a heart to heart with myself, and I go to the soul of man standing before me, and I ask the hard questions. Am I who I want to become? Who do I really want to be? Am I the hero of my own story? Am I the man that I'm looking up to? I start answering those questions, and then I just keep expanding on those questions, guys. The man in the mirror is not always kind, but he's honest, which is what I need. Too many people tell you what they think you want to hear, regardless of their intentions, good or bad. I need the truth. I need the honesty. Now, the world will tell you, right? People will tell you all the time that they'll tell you exactly what you want to hear because they want to take advantage of you, or they want to win your trust over. And that's negative intentions, right? Or some of your friends who love you a lot, some people in your life who actually care about you, will tell you what they think you want to hear sometimes to spare your feelings. They think they're doing you a favor that way. But what I need from the man in the mirror is I need that honesty. Who do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you find the same thing I do? Do you search for your truth? Do you actually ask those hard questions? And how often do you have those conversations with yourself? Because they are so important for you to have those conversations. Now, guys, be sure and jump in. If you are joining us, wherever you are joining us from, be sure and let us know. Let's get some music going because I need the music. But let us know where you're joining us from, guys. I love to hang out with you guys. I love to see who's here and who's playing and who's involved. And it always makes my night so much better. Now, guys, I've got just a couple points I want to share with you tonight, and it will go quick. So queue up those questions if you got them. Call your friends, guys. If you actually enjoy the show, ping your friend. Let them know we're doing it. Maybe they don't know it's going on. Maybe they haven't been on the show before. And share this out. That really helps me to have some more visibility as we grow this show and as we grow this community. So be sure and share it with your friends. It's been a busy day, guys. I actually got stood up on a interview I had scheduled. Blew my mind. I've never had that happen with a pre-scheduled interview, but hopefully I'm going to get that rescheduled. But as we look and talk about the Man in the Mirror, no, not the Michael Jackson song. I think somebody else has a song. Who in the comments knows? Somebody else sing a song about the Man in the Mirror. I like have it stuck in the back of my head. And it's definitely not the Michael Jackson song, but it's been bugging me all week while I wrote this show tonight. Who else where I've heard that song repeatedly as part of the lyrics, The Man in the Mirror. So if you know, oh, Sarah said music too loud. Okay, we can fix that. You down at 9. Is that better, guys? So let me know if you know who sings those lyrics, who actually has those involved. Be sure and tell me, because it's like this earwig that just won't go away. So on to point number 1, guys. The Man in the Mirror is honest, but you're not, so you got to be careful. Your reflection is not capable of lying to you. We all know we're talking to ourselves in the mirror. Your reflection is absolutely not capable of lying to you. However, you are absolutely capable of lying to yourself about what you are seeing. We're amazing at lying to ourselves when we're confronted with uncomfortable truths. For a lot of us, okay, and I'm pointing at me too, okay, for a lot of us, it's just our default reaction. We are spectacular at making justifications for what we see and excuses. We play the blame game. We put qualifiers on it like time constraints, right? We talked about that in the past. Everybody's got that friend who's got time constraints about why they can't achieve their goals or, move to that place they want to be or improve themselves or go to the gym, right? Everybody's got time constraints or the external influences or world issues. Oh my goodness, there's a war going on in the world. I can't work on myself. It is amazing what we are capable of lying to ourselves about. And so the truth of the fact is, most of us are just, let me rephrase that. The truth of the fact is, most of us convince ourselves that the truth we see is a lie because it's really hard to face your own failures and shortcomings. And it's really easy to try and dump that off on other people or circumstances or time constraints. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on time constraints because I hear that all the time. I don't know how. I have an insanely busy schedule, and I know a lot of you guys do too. And I hear it all the time. Well, if I had more time, I'd go to the gym. No, you wouldn't. You go to McDonald's. If I had more time, I'd get a second job. No, you wouldn't. If I had more time, no, I don't think so. Okay, so we all know those people, and those people drive me nuts because I know what that is like. I know you don't have more time, but you do. You have the same 24 hours everybody else does. So instead of letting that get in your way, guys, don't look with rose-colored glasses. Just take the information you're seeing. When you face the man in the mirror, just take the information, process it, and decide what you're going to do with it, because that's the best you can do. Okay? It is 100% fine. You're probably not going to like everything you see every day. I really do this, guys. I know it sounds silly, but I really do. I stand in front of my mirror, one of the first things I do in the morning, and just look at myself with the glasses off and as unfiltered as I can and go, yeah, I still need to lose a little more weight, man. I'm still a little rounder than I want to be. Hey, you're looking a little tired. What are you doing that you're not getting enough sleep at night? Right? I dig into it. It's like, is this really what the best version of me looks like? I don't know. Not just like physically, but looking past the physical into my own soul. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Maybe you don't want to do it in the mirror. Maybe you feel silly doing it that way. But you have to have these honest conversations with yourself. Now, if you're just joining us, be sure and chat up in the comments. Join the conversation. It makes tonight so much more fun. I see Sarah. I see Jared. I know some more people are watching. So be sure and join in the conversation, guys. And if you have a question, put a QQ in front of it down in the comment section. It helps me to see it, especially when I'm running the show by myself, as my lovely wife is away tonight. So be sure and put that QQ in and jump in the conversation. Be a part of tonight's show. Number 2, the man in the mirror is not judging you. I don't care what you think. I know this is the default reaction, but the man in the mirror is not judging you. You're judging yourself. My father impressed on me at a really very young age that no one can make you feel any way that you do not give them power to do so. That includes yourself. It was really hard to understand. Hey, Jess, I see you coming in. That's okay. Better late than never, right? Good to see you tonight. He impressed on me this concept of no one could make me feel any way I didn't want to, but I can make myself feel badly, right? I give myself that power to judge myself. You're judging yourself, and we're our own worst critics. I was recently a guest on a podcast that came out last week, the podcast on podcasting with Adam Adams. I appreciate him and his team. They made me sound really smart, even though I'm not all the time. But I was on this podcast, and the host said some really incredibly nice, generous things about me in the introduction. Like, I was just like, wow, blown away, right? And he introduced me, and he's like, turns the mic over to me, and I wanted to tell him, it's like, the interview's over. Just drop the mic, because anything that came out of my mouth after that point was just going to detract from that incredible introduction he gave me, because there was no way I felt like I could live up to that. I wasn't sure I could live up to the hype, because no matter what I do or accomplish, I'm still going to be my own worst critic. So understand, you're judging yourself. You're not being judged by the man in the mirror. You're doing that to yourself. You're digging into yourself. And you got to understand, you're your own worst critic, guys. So you're going to be harder on yourself. The world doesn't see you the way you see you. So as you're picking apart your flaws, give yourself some grace, because the rest of the world doesn't see you that way. Hey, Common Man, I see you. I get what's going on. I know you got a meeting around this time of night. So thanks for jumping in. I know you're not able to fully participate, but I see you there, brother. I'm appreciating you joining us out tonight. Man, the home team is in the house tonight, guys, and I appreciate the support. I'm glad you're here. So as to the man in the mirror not judging yourself, not judging you, stop being so critical of yourself. Have a little kindness with yourself. I want you to ask yourself this question, okay? I want you to pose this thought every time you start to go super negative on yourself. Would I look at my best friend this way? When you're staring in the mirror, seeing all of your worst attributes, seeing yourself physically in the worst possible light, seeing yourself spiritually, mentally in the worst possible light. When you're staring in the mirror, instead of judging yourself, look at yourself with the same eyes that you look at your best friends. You would treat them with grace. You would treat them with love. You would treat them with some kindness. You see their flaws, but you don't judge them harshly because of it, do you? I don't think so. I know most of you, so I'm going to say that's a no. So treat yourself with the same courtesy and kindness that you would your best friend. See if that takes a little of the self-judgment out, and you will do better that way. I guarantee it. Now, guys, when do you ask yourself the hard questions? Tell me in the comments, do you have this conversation with yourself? I know maybe I'm a lunatic. I'm sitting here having conversations with myself in the mirror in the mornings. And well, let's face it, that's a possibility. I might be a lunatic. But when do you ask yourself the hard questions? When do you have a set time, or is it just when it comes up? Tell me in the comments, share with the community, let us know, because you got to ask yourself the hard questions sometimes. And sometimes we don't ask until it's the worst possible moment. Now, with that, we got to hit some bat dance because we just got to. So, where are my sound effects? All right, get up. Come on, wherever you are. Everybody do some bat dancing with me. He just doesn't want to go away. He's like hanging out. He's like, hey, I'm Batman. I'm here to. Okay, sorry. I'll get back on track. Maybe. We'll see. Guys, number 3. If the man in the mirror is not who you wish he was, then all that means is it's time to get to work. Okay? I watched a movie with my wife the other night, and one of the main characters kept being reminded that he was Alan, not Dash. And Dash is the character that he was the model for, right? I'm reminded every day that I'm David, or Brent, if you know me, okay? I'm still working on becoming the man that I look up to. I haven't achieved that status yet, but I can only achieve that status by my own hand and through constant work on myself, okay? I've never forgot. That is my favorite line out of the whole Harry Potter series, guys, is when Hagrid tells Harry, you're a wizard. And Harry's like, but I'm just Harry. I can't be a wizard. Right? Harry just cannot believe there's anything special or unique about him because he's just Harry. Well, that's the way I look at myself every day. I know exactly what that feels like. And I think you do too. Too often, refer to number 2, we're our own worst critics, right? So we're just us. When I look in the mirror and see I am not the person I want to become, I'm not the person I want to grow into necessarily yet, I do know that it's a process. It's not over. The journey is still continuing. Okay? No one can make you into that person you want to become. No one can make you that person that you look up to. No one can make you something you're not yet. Only you have the power and the ability to take yourself that level in which you aspire to grow to become as a person. And it's going to take work and it's going to take time, but you're the only person who can make that difference at all. So be patient with yourself, okay? It's okay if who you see in the mirror is not the person that you wish you saw yet. You're in a journey. You're in your journey. And you alone can make yourself into that person with time and effort and work. And you will. I believe in you. I absolutely do. Kathy says, I do my checklist in the evenings to see how I did that day. Did I remember to improve the things I had listed the evening before? Thank you for sharing with us, Kathy. I appreciate you chiming in. See, that's a good time to do it, right? Asking those questions and crossing off that list before you go to bed is a great time to do that. I like to do it in the mornings because I like to remind myself in the morning. That's why I do it then. There's nothing wrong with doing it at night. Do you ask yourselves that important question of, am I the person that I want to become? Am I who I dream about being? Am I that role model that I look up to? Am I the person I aspire to be? Ask yourself, have I achieved these goals? Have those hard conversations with yourself. It is a part of growing. Now, number 4, guys, the man in the mirror is not perfect and never, ever, 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 ever. Not too many evers? I don't think so. Let me reiterate, ever, ever, ever going to be perfect. Okay? The man in the mirror is not perfect at all. I can look in that mirror every day for the rest of my life and I will find flaws every day for the rest of my life. No, however much time God gives me on this planet, I will always find flaws. I will find imperfections and I will see failings in myself. And so will you. Not in me, in yourself. You probably will in me too, but in yourself. Every day, if you ask yourself these questions every single day, you will see those flaws and failings for the rest of your life. You will never reach perfection. It's just not possible. And that's okay. I recently heard an interview with a Hollywood actor named Alan Ritchson. Most recently, he's known for playing Jack Reacher. If you guys didn't watch Jack Reacher, he's been in a lot of other movies. The dude is a seriously big dude, and he has been in a lot of shows. Jack Reacher was a great role for him. But one of the things he said in the interview was, he said, one of those things that nobody tells you in Hollywood is when you succeed in Hollywood and get to the top, when you arrive at that level of stardom, it's just more of the same. There's no golden moment. There's no pinnacle. There's no, I have arrived, or great reward. It's just more of the same. He said, I hit that place and I'm expecting just the amazing moment of I have arrived, and it's not there. It doesn't, all the years you put, all the time you sacrificed, all the work you did, there's no great payout. There's just more of the same. Likewise, this is something I'm all too familiar with. There's something called gym dysmorphia, or any kind of exercise dysmorphia. And this can apply to bodybuilders. This can apply to CrossFitters. Anybody who's into any kind of strength sport or physique type sport will run into this issue. And that issue is there's a kind of body dysmorphia, right? People who are overweight have a body dysmorphia. People who are severely underweight have a body dysmorphia. Well, guess what? People in strength sports always have a body dysmorphia. I remember my father asking me, after I had recently done a lift, I moved over 600 pounds, and my dad was just blown away. He was never really interested in lifting weights or anything like that. Like, my gym obsession does not come from my dad. But he asked me, he's like, oh, well, what's next? I said, I don't know, 650. And he asked me a question. He said, how much is enough? He's like, 600 pounds is a massive weight, son. How much is enough? And I said, I don't know that there is enough. I when I get to 650, if I get to 650, then I guess 700 will be the next number. People who participate in sports like that, there's never enough, right? There's never a point where you reach. Likewise, Alan Richardson, how do you say his name? I don't know. Said, in Hollywood, there's just not a pinnacle. Guys, you can work your whole life on becoming the person that you want to be, and it's a life well spent. But there is no, I have arrived. No, I have arrived kind of moment, right? No trumpets, no ticker tape parade. You'll always see your flaws. Even when no one else does, you will always see where you could improve, what that next level could be. Growth is a perpetual thing that just doesn't end. It's crazy, but it's true. It never stops. The journey and who you help along the way is better than the destination, because there is no mountaintop. There's just the next mountain. So try to maintain perspective and be patient with yourself. The man in the mirror is always going to show you where you can improve, where you have room to grow, where you can adjust all your flaws. But the journey is the destination, and a lot of people never even bother to start that trip. It is crazy how many people sit on the sidelines and just don't invest in themselves or don't try to grow. And that's tragic. Now, you're here because You know me and you want to grow because you see a better idea, a better potential. I'm not perfect and I know it, but I'm on a journey and I'm trying to take as many people with me as possible. The man in the mirror doesn't lie to you. So don't lie to yourself about it. The man in the mirror is not judging you. So give yourself a little grace because it's you who is judging yourself. So look at yourself the same way your friends would look at you. If you're not the person you want to be and the man in the mirror is saying that, then it just means you have more work. And that's okay because it's part of the journey. The man in the mirror is not perfect and never, ever will be. But that's okay. You're a work in progress and you're amazing. And you're heading towards your more amazing yourself, your more amazing self. And so, guys, that's my take on the man in the mirror. Maybe I am crazy. It is entirely possible if you know me very well at all. So we're not going to discount that possibility. But I have to encourage you guys to take a good, hard, long look at yourself and ask those questions. Because if you don't ask the questions and seek the answers, then you don't know where you need to grow and how you need to grow. And you're missing out on an incredible opportunity to become the very, very best version of yourself. Now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of chit chat in the conversation area in the chat box. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. If you want to throw in a question, now is the time to do it. I'm not seeing any takes on our questionnaire, so no one's coming online. Everybody is afraid. Nobody likes the camera. That's okay. But, guys, I appreciate you being here tonight. As always, be better tomorrow because of what you do today. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm grateful for you hanging out with me. Until we see each other. Oh, and don't miss this week's podcast. Today is Monday. Tuesday, every Tuesday, a new podcast comes out, guys. And I have an incredible guest for you guys this week, named Gene Valentino. And we're going to talk about why men should get involved with their own local politics and how important that is. And we have videos every Friday. If you want to see my adorable kids, they helped me with a cooking video last week on Friday. It's doing pretty well on YouTube for my sake. Mainly just because my kids are adorable. It has nothing to do with me. And we tried out a vegan recipe, which is crazy, right? I don't do that. But guys, check those things out. We're all over the place at the Fallible Man. Be better tomorrow because of what you do today, and we'll see you on the next one.